Jaguar, baby!
Come here! Let's go. Give me a flipper.
All right. Well, I hope whoever listens to this enjoyed the new intro music.
Wonderful.
Yep, Sean in there. He starts everything off. In fact, Sean's going to start everything off in my life from now on. So for my third, fourth, fifth, and maybe sixth marriages, he's going to ask for a flipper before the weddings. And he's going to officiate the weddings because, well, he does a pretty good job.
A good official.
Yeah. So, Sean, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, and
why are you listening to this?
and I hope that you will become a licensed priest. Is that a thing?
Officiant? Officiant.
Whatever.
An officiant.
Magistrate.
Yes.
All right. Well, we haven't done this in a few weeks, so we'll just kind of breeze on through weeks 2, 3, and 4. We'll just kind of hit the highlights. I'll say the scores of the games, but if it's a blowout, I'm not going to go into any detail unless there was something of note. So, are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't remember any of these games, so let's see
Good.
what happens.
All right, week 2, October 7th. The Herd beat the Expendables 34-28. A rare win for the Herd this season.
The Herd won a game, did we? We won a game. I don't even remember winning a
Been
game.
a long time ago.
Oh my God, we won a game.
Apparently, the Expendables didn't show up at all.
God.
The next game was Jack Boys beat Nightmare 50-20. Okay.
Yep.
And then the third game, the Herd fell to the Storm 14-12.
Oh.
That was actually pretty interesting. The Storm got their very first win of their young, hot lives. And it was, I think a lot of it had to do with the rain at the end. And it also had to do with, our team fielded 8 people.
For 2 games in a row. It's
Matt
not
Wilson,
good for us.
Right. Matt Wilson had to play defense. And not that he's bad at defense, but I think that takes away from what he can do on the offense. And the Storm played pretty well. They have some good athletes over there. They got King Virgo at corner.
King Virgo, yeah.
Who will at some point be the sideline reporter. That's an inside joke, but
Yes.
You'll hear more about Claxon and King Virgo as this goes on.
Classic competitors. Yes.
So Storm won 14-12. The next game was Showstoppers destroying the Hitmen 34-6, and then the last game of week 2 was 409 Boys 30. Squad 0.
Pretty good. We have an ESPN update. Look at that.
My fantasy football team is doing really well. So that was week 2. Week 3, the Showstoppers played the Expendables in the first game, easily won 39-20. Hitmen then played Nightmare at 11, beating them easily 45-6. 409 Boys destroyed Expendables 54-30.
They are putting up some points.
Now the 1 p.m. game, and I don't talk about these because it's my team, because as we get into week 4, there's another game similar to this. But the Jack Boys beat the Herd 30-25.
On the last play with a 80-yard bomb.
If any of you
that was not defended by anybody.
If any of you were not there, the Herd scored with 6 seconds left to go up by 1 point, 25-24. The Jack Boys had 6 seconds, and they had a play where they snapped the ball to Tone. Tone threw it 30 yards across the field to Labrie. Labrie threw it about 70 yards in the air to Lowe, I think is what it's on the back of his shirt. And there was nobody around.
Nobody around
That
him.
ball traveled 90 yards in the air on that play.
And we tried as hard as we could not to defend it.
So that was that. The Jack Boys, you got to play the whole game. They played the whole game, and they ended up winning. The final game of the day was also a really good game. The Storm played the Squad. The Squad had it won, and someone on their team called a timeout.
Some timeouts. That was so weird when you're up. Then
They were up 12-6, like on their own 20. All they had
less
to do,
than a minute left.
All they had to do was run out the clock. They called some timeouts. The Storm got the ball back, scored on the very last play of the game.
In the corner of the end zone, yep.
Tied it up, and then it went to overtime, but the Squad came away with more yards.
Yeah.
So,
They
great
got to
game,
win, but, boy, it shouldn't have been that.
No, it was a great game, though. So then week 4, which was last week on the 21st, The first game of the day, the Storm played another really close game with the Expendables, and
Oh, yeah.
it didn't have to be so close, except they had a snap that went in the end zone for a safety.
They lost about 80 yards total on bad snaps in that game. That was pretty rough.
Right, but they won 18-16. They
Expendables dropped a touchdown in the last play of the game on fourth down deep in the end zone and dropped it, which would have won the game for the Expendables.
This is the year of last-second heartbreaking losses. I won't even say last-second wins. Last-second heartbreaking losses. The second game, Showstoppers beat Nightmare 39-20, whatever. The third game.
Well, that game was up by 30. The Showstoppers were up by 30, and they were about to get to the 10-minute mark, and they let Nightmare score to keep playing, and they end up that score was definitely not what the game really was. It was,
yeah.
I mean, that's still a 29-point win. And it wasn't even. It was worse than that.
Yeah, I took a break and went and meditated or something. So then the third game in a repeat of week 3, 409 boys played the Jack boys.
Ooh.
The 409 boys were up 38-37 with I think like 4 seconds left or 3 seconds
Something
left.
like that, yeah.
They snapped the ball to TT. TT looked right, and then he went left and hit a guy in the end zone for a touchdown. Last second of the game, They won again, back-to-back weeks.
I hadn't had a chance to watch any of these yet on the old video there, so I can't speak. I can't actually remember that one. I hadn't had a chance to see it yet.
I will put up the video today. Today is today.
I'm just saying I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
But this last-second win.
It's whatever this day is.
Yeah,
no
whatever this day is. That's why people call into this show so much.
They know.
Okay, and then the last game of the day, the Herd dropped to
did we do Squad Nightmare?
Oh, I'm sorry. Squad Nightmare played. Squad beat them pretty easily, 30-14. The most notable part of that game was when David Dixon's bone came out of his finger.
That was incredible. Oh, and he was just absent of pain and emotion. I couldn't believe it.
That was the most gruesome injury I've ever seen in my entire life. And that guy's tough.
Yeah, I would not have reacted the same way.
If that happens to me, if anyone sees a bone sticking out of me anywhere, just go ahead and call an ambulance, find me some whiskey immediately, and whatever painkiller you can locate.
Just start throwing dirt on my ass because you might as well
just put a bullet in you.
Bury me because I will not. I'll die because I'll freak out.
We'll just take you out back and old yeller you.
That's it.
You know what? I'm going to start doing that for a lot of things. If I have a head cold, just take me out back.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
I don't want any more adversity. Well, anyway, I texted him the next day. I asked him to text me, and he sent me a message and said he was okay. He said he'll be there this week.
He will not be able to use that finger ever again. I don't think that's incredible. I don't see how it's even possible.
I don't understand how he could even text me. Yeah, I mean, David, if you're listening to this, you are far tougher than anyone I know.
Yeah.
So I was
crazy.
I've never seen anything like that. And then the last game of the day, the Hitmen beat the Herd 44-26. The Hitmen just had better athletes than we did.
Yeah, we could not stop anybody if we even thought about it.
It looked like we were playing with 5 people on defense. They had far better talent than we did, and you
can tell the average age difference from their team to our team.
Oh yeah,
it's a big difference.
Yeah, when Josh Harmon and Aaron Long aren't there for us, we are very thin on defense.
Yeah, and all those other mysterious guys that said they were going to come out and have never shown up yet.
Yeah, that's great. But that's all the weeks so far. We're almost halfway through. It's a 9-week regular season, then we have the playoffs, so there's plenty of football left. Everybody's still alive. Some are more alive than others. But even if your team is out of it, it's fun to go out there and play. If I were on Nightmare, I would still want to play my entire schedule just to get better. I mean, you can't, look at the Expendables. They're not doing real well this year, but they've gotten progressively better. They were the worst team by a long shot for a while, and the Storm's getting better. It's just, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yes, I'm just thinking in terms of our team, and I'm not as optimistic about that. Fun is a relative term, I guess.
Well, that's why you play the game. think somebody said that one time. But that's all the weeks thus far, and then we'll have something else for you in the next segment. Do you have anything on the first almost half of the season?
No, I think we have some. The teams that are the elite teams are showing that they are elite, and the reasons why. But then we have some, up and comers that might get into the playoffs and cause some destruction in the playoffs, and some older teams that are showing their age and showing that it's time to retool.
I think I've told you this week. I think that the Jack boys are going to mess around and get caught by a few teams,
it's
because
possible.
I just, I think there's a lot of chiefs and not, well, that's a very politically incorrect term.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who want to be leaders and not enough people who want to be followers over there. And you can only tell that. You can't tell it when they're winning because everybody's happy.
Yeah.
But when they're getting beat, they certainly get angry at each other. And they've gotten progressively more angry at one another as this has gone on, and their win margin has shrunk a lot. I mean, when you're beating it, when we're almost beating you.
Exactly. Yeah, they of course didn't have a full team when they played us.
They had their main stars.
It was enough.
It
was enough that they shouldn't have been down to us at any point in that game.
Because they had Tone, Labrie, they had their good play. They had some good players that day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so that's the fun part about the league is that somebody can get bit. It doesn't take much.
I mean, flag football teams have an expiration date if you don't change. It's kind of what we're going through right now, and it's a young man's sport. It really is, because you're fresh out of high school, you're still got football going on, then you start getting lazy and old, and unless you're Chris Gutierrez and you have volleyball shorts and you're perennially in shape, or you're Kenny Croak and you wander out there and you look like you're more athletic than everyone else playing, and you're in your 50s. Not everybody's like that,
Well, I still think there's that middle ground because the teams that are just kids that just come out of high school, they can't fully figure the game yet. They're always flag guarding or causing problems or having personal fouls for being too physical. But then there's that middle ground where you start learning how to play the game of flag football as you get in your mid-20s.
I think 23 to about 26 is when you're best.
You learn you don't tuck the ball away and run anymore. You just you just do a lot of spin stuff, and you know how to defend people. It's a lot. It's just there's a middle ground where it turns from football to, it's a combination of like soccer, rugby, football, basketball, all that combination together where you learn that.
Now, a lot of them, though, I think could keep playing really well up into 27, 28, and 30. However, 27, 28, and 30 is usually when people are settling down, having families, getting real jobs, So I think that's one of the big drop-off right there. But 23 to 26 to me is just the prime flag football playing days.
Yeah.
And I ain't 26. 34.
I feel I was probably a little better into my early 30s. I think I was probably at my best at that point, just because
you're an outlier.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying. Like,
I just don't think as many people are that dedicated to the sport.
Yeah, I feel like that just. I had a little long-lasting playing. I guess I don't know how else to.
Yeah.
All right. But there's a lot of guys that like that too.
Stay tuned to the next segment. We'll be right back. Welcome back. For this segment, I'm sitting...
For those of you that went away, welcome back.
I think if they're in for the first segment, they'll stay for this one. There's only like 4 people.
And we're two
of
them?
They're all texting me right now. Every one of them.
Yep. We've got a call holding on line 2.
Line 2, go ahead. It was a telemarketer.
They hung up.
For this segment, I'm going to sit Indian style because I haven't sat Indian style in a long time, and well...
And it looks very uncomfortable for you. Your knees look like they're screaming at you.
Well, the last time I did this, I was in a elementary school gym,
I really doubt that.
and it was 2016.
Oh, okay.
All right. The topic for this segment is Troy and I are going to go through the teams, and for a special Halloweeny edition of Amateur Hour, we're going to discuss. Do you feel good about that? You shouldn't. We're going to discuss.
Just want that going in the background the entire segment.
Okay. We're going to discuss. I'll put some stuff in behind the.
Put some stuff in it.
Yeah, like a spooky little noise. We're going to discuss. What were we going to do? Oh yeah, what the costumes would look like based on the team names of the teams in the league for the year. Anyway, so. Troy, I'll let you go first. No.
What are we doing?
Well, you're playing with a dog.
Well, I was trying.
I'm doing
to rip
serious.
the cord out
Look,
of the computer here.
nah, she's not going to do that. She knows that. She knows better. She only eats everything else. Okay, so we're going to talk about what the costumes look like for each team based on the team's name and, I don't know, the character of the folk who play on said team.
Okay.
So first off is Nightmare.
Okay.
Yep. You want me to go first?
I think you should probably start all of these, and I'll chime in with something.
Okay. Here's their costume.
Yes.
Since dreams and nightmares are only in your brain and invisible and don't happen, they're just invisible. And they're not really there. And they don't show up or play.
They show up.
But in the costume, because basically it's the same thing if they showed up or not, because they're not going to win.
See, I was thinking more of like a dark, just like all dark, covered head to toe, just blackness, darkness, nightmare, you know.
Okay, now the second part of this, so they're basically like Taliban women dressed in a burqa.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Because nightmare, Taliban.
I
mean,
that's
whatever.
pretty dark. And for their superpower, because everybody gets also a power. So what would Nightmare's superpower be?
They can block like this when someone tries to poke them in the eyes.
People can't see you.
I know. they
They'll
can
put
block
their
getting
hand
poked in the eye.
Oh, okay. Well, I think their superpower is going to be to go into other people's dreams.
Some actual supernatural.
Well, I don't care what you say.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't care what you say.
make it entertaining.
No, that's why visual effects.
This is going terribly. Anyway, so they could basically invade other people's thoughts and dreams, kind of like Freddy Krueger.
And talk mad flag football shit.
Well, yeah, but they
dreams.
can't back it up. That's the main part.
Oh, I like
That's
where
the
we're
nightmare
heading.
part.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is Expendables. I'm thinking for this, they are, I'll go bottom to top. They're wearing military boots, some sort of kind of tight-fitting wrestler camo pants with like bandoliers around their chest, like in an X with a bunch of bullets,
Yeah.
and a slung rifle, and they all have flat-top haircuts. They basically look like Guile from Street Fighter.
Okay. Or the Expendables from that movie, The Expendables.
I never saw it. I didn't even know there was a
I
movie.
think there was a couple of them actually. Stallone and someone.
And for my superpower for the Expendables, they all have guns and they get to shoot them during the game.
Yeah, it's not really a superpower. It's more of just an advantage, I guess.
This is my superpower.
I think they have the ability to be. Each person has the ability to be expendable.
Oh, the producer's asking me, can they shoot at people? No.
They can just shoot.
They can try to shoot the ball. They can try to shoot the ball, and they can shoot around people, kind of like Yosemite Sam type stuff.
Once they hit somebody,
That's creating physical contact, and that's a 10-yard penalty with the first down.
And the bullet gets taken away.
And it's also homicide.
Yeah, I think they have the ability. Each person has the ability to be expendable on their team, and someone else can.
So they just have a lot of subs. They do have a lot of players.
Person is expendable. Yes.
Okay.
Not expandable. Expendable.
Do you have a different costume for them?
No, I think that's about right. That sounds about right.
All right. Well,
Very heavy boots, though. Very heavy boots.
Well, you're going to like the next one. Next up is the Herd. Do you want to do this one?
I think it's self-explanatory.
No, I'm going to go with more of the character of the team.
Oh, go ahead.
On this
man.
one, everyone's going to wear Dockers brand khaki shorts, cargo shorts specifically, with a braided brown belt and a dad shirt. Dad shirt meaning a polo shirt bought from Walmart with a white t-shirt neath it. White New Balance sneakers, not shoes, but sneakers, and like fall down socks. You know, the old socks you have that are white that kind of crinkle down, because everyone in the herd is about as athletic as a 45-year-old dad.
So you basically just described Matt Wilson.
Yeah, but he's our best player. No, Matt doesn't wear that. Matt wears different things.
Oh. What would be the superpower then of the herd?
The ability to disband after the season. Or at any point during the season. The ability to just
The
quit.
ability to
quit without shame.
the ability to avoid answering any questions in the group message.
Yeah. The ability to ignore and be aloof. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. We're good.
No more. Nothing?
No. But we're not dressed like a buffalo or like a sad, lonely buffalo. That's just lost everything, and he's just wandering.
And it's just
And
one
he's-
buffalo?
And he's getting very frail. He's not eating anymore.
So we're all in one buffalo suit?
Yes. Very, very frail. He's losing all
that.
his hair, and he has the ability to go die somewhere alone.
That's sad.
Exactly.
All right.
That's how I feel, yes.
The Storm.
They're just a very well put together tornado that's
Okay.
it's growing, it's starting to it's not causing any damage yet, but you can see it off in the distance.
Okay. So they're away from the field and in a tornado-like shape.
But but the sirens are going off and people are running for cover.
Okay. Well, do you have a superpower for these folk?
They're a tornado.
Oh, okay. A tornado of men. I was just asked the question, can people come to the next game in costume? If anyone's listening to this and you want to come in costume to the next game and play your game in a costume, we will forego the uniform policy so that you can play your game in a costume.
We might even give you a few extra points.
I'll give you a free shirt, a free
But
SETX FFL
but
shirt.
You have to show up in the uniform in the costume we're describing right now. You get 10 points on your team for the start of the game if you show up in the costume we just came up with.
Since the first 3 or 4 weren't even possible, yes. But if you show up in any costume, I'll give you a shirt and I'll take a picture with you, and it will make me very happy. Especially if you play in your costume, it will make me the happiest I've been in a long time.
That will be good.
I'm sorry. The happiest I've been on the flag football field in a long time.
Same. It's the same for happiness. It's the same.
No, it's not.
Okay, next. The Hitman.
No, wait. Hey, I didn't want to do the Storm.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought.
All of them. I said I get it.
I got you. Yeah.
All right, no.
I
Anyway, so you know having a fan, like sometimes they'll have like little paper streamers to have the fan blow in the streamers.
For whatever reason, I don't know.
They're all wearing shirts with those things pinned on them so that the wind blows, they all fly, like the little streamers do.
Okay.
And they have the power to control the weather.
So there's sort of like a pinata.
No, but kind of.
Okay.
But they have the power to control the weather.
Okay. Yeah.
And they want it to rain because that's how they beat us.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, go ahead, Hitman.
Hitmen. I'm just seeing a well-dressed man.
Bald.
Bald. Yes,
Okay.
what are the odds of that? He's bald, and he's wearing a black suit with a red tie. And he's got black leather gloves on.
Does he have any weapons?
Yes.
What are they?
He has a few pistols, and then maybe even like a long gun.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty legitimate. Do they have a superpower, or are they just...
They also have guns.
Man, it's a very common superpower.
Yes. But they have deadly accuracy. That's their superpower. They never miss with any shot they take.
I'm going to go a little differently on this. To me, I think they are all going to be dressed as ninjas, as samurai ninjas.
Okay.
And basically, they look for bodies of water that they can like submerge themselves and then come up with one of those little poison dart things and hit people in the neck with it.
Okay.
That's their superpower. Also, they're really fast.
Like ninjas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like really fast and quick and elusive. Like ninjas. Right.
The Squad.
Okay, I got it. They're going to wear skeleton suits because one of them already has his skeleton poking out of part of his body.
They're all skeletons, and their superpower is
The ability not to feel pain, obviously.
okay. That's pretty good.
For any of those of you that don't know, that didn't hear the first segment, David Dixon's bone
Because
came out of
people
his
start
finger.
the show on the second segment.
I don't know what people do. Cody Rodriguez starts it at like minute 14.
Well, I guess because he has to get through all the fluff to get to the meat
Let's
of the
get to the
potato.
meat and potatoes of this. Stupid bull crap. So to me, they're skeletons that can feel no pain.
Okay.
Is that...
I think that works. It's kind of like the skeletons on the Karate Kid and the Halloween party.
I've never seen Karate Kid.
All right, moving on.
Backup uniform for the squad. They're all dressed like, you know, those movies from the 90s where they had the multi-ethnic gangs where they were all dressed in very colorful but like kind of matching clothing.
Okay.
That. And they play basketball. And their superpowers, they don't feel any pain. Still.
Yeah, still, they have to. Yeah, you can't cross over superpowers. You have to do the same.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Showstoppers.
They're all dressed like Shawn Michaels,
Okay. The wrestler?
the wrestler. Yes.
Kanye West? That would also be pretty good. I could see Walt wearing a pair of those,
Yeezys.
is that what those are called? The sunglasses?
Oh, I'm talking about the shoes.
I don't know. Those sunglasses he wears that are very punchable.
I don't know. I couldn't. I probably couldn't pick Kanye West out of a lineup.
Well, I actually couldn't either. I just know the sunglasses. I think of the showstoppers as, have you ever seen David Bowie dressed up as Ziggy Stardust?
Yes, I have.
Okay, if you haven't seen it, just Google it. It's basically a really effeminate man with face paint and a star on his face.
That's kind of like a lightning bolt. Not
Well,
really a
yeah,
star.
maybe. Or, you know what? They're all dressed like different rock stars. But they're all painted face rock stars. They're like members of Kiss, maybe a Guar guy in there, and Ziggy Stardust.
Some of those Motley Crue guys, they just put women's face paint on.
Oh, Blue Man Group. Yeah, there's a Blue Man in there. They're just all very...
I said women's face paint, but it's actually just makeup. So
Women's face paint is makeup for the most part. With very few exceptions, I think you're right. Their superpower is the ability to constantly recruit and have quarterbacks play. They can turn anybody into a quarterback.
They already have that power. That's already their power.
I know.
That's not anything secret
No.
or super. I think they just have the ability to super kick people like Shawn Michaels.
Super kick?
Like Shawn Michaels does for his finishing move.
Okay. I could see that. I think they also have the ability to, I don't know, like control the scoreboard, but not in any kind of meaningful way.
Not in a nefarious way.
Yeah, just like make little shapes on it. Like a showstopper.
Yes.
All right, the 409 boys.
I don't know. I guess they dress like people dress. They're like in Southeast Texas. I don't know.
So
409. I don't know.
so they're just in plain clothes?
I guess.
Okay, here's their uniform to me. It's going to be a really bright green shirt with maybe like camo sleeves, kind of like gray or black letters that say 409 boys on the front, and then numbers on the back, and
With a name.
with a name atop of the numbers. That combined with a pair of shorts that don't necessarily match everyone else's shorts, and yeah, that is their uniform.
And their superpower is that they play flag football.
Their superpower is that they can take a grown man screaming at them and still play flag football.
Or they know every phone number in the 409 area code.
Yeah, yeah, they could know that.
They memorize every phone number. In
They
the
also
409
have the
area.
power to change the English language so that S's are Z's.
And they have that. I still think they should change. They should change up to the 409 men's
409 men's.
and the Hit Boys and the Jack men's. That would be good. I think that would be good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like that. I like that.
It
Because
just
I'm
doesn't roll
retarded.
off the tongue. Men's don't roll off the tongue.
The 409 men's. That's funny.
That is kind of funny. All right.
Last but not least, the Jack Boys, or as I like to call them, the Jack Men's.
Well, on their real uniform, they have a masked man and some rifles, which I
Yeah,
guess is like a robber.
Which is sort of like Expendables and,
But I want them to dress more like a robber from, like cartoons of in the olden days. Like they'll have long,
What kind of
wiry,
cartoons are you listening to?
like
Or
snidely.
Listen.
I don't listen to any cartoons. Like Snidely Whiplash, from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Was
like
he a
with
robber?
the long. He was some kind of criminal.
Okay.
With like the long mustache, and he's like.
Oh, I'm thinking of the magician on Rudolph or Frosty the Snowman.
Okay. But their costume would be like to have like a purple top hat and like a suit with tails, and they're like kind of sneaking around.
Yeah.
They're always having that, and they have like black masks, but it just goes on the outside of their eyes, so it doesn't really do much for you at all.
The Lone Ranger mask or something.
And they're always going. Their ability is to throw footballs 70 yards in the air and win at the last second.
Every time they throw it, it's got 70 yards.
Yeah,
No
it's
matter
kind of
how
a weird
far
ability.
no matter how many yards they need the ball.
They're either running it or
70
they're
yards.
throwing it 70 yards in the air.
Yes, and the ability to win games every time. To win every game, every season.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Sean, for Halloween, I'm going to dress him as a farmer, and he's going to be on a tractor, and he's going to be...
He's going to be riding up and down
Yeah.
the sideline
He's
on the tractor.
He's got the voice of a farmer.
Okay.
Give me a flipper. Shuck that corn.
That's what farmers sound like? I don't.
Probably. Jacoby.
Shuck that corn?
Jacoby is going to be
tell him?
dressed as a Phantom of the Opera. Because oftentimes he'll be like, I don't want to be here anymore, and he's just gone.
Just gone.
And you hear that Phantom of the Opera music in the background.
He pulls his cape up and
he's just gone.
he throws one of those little smoke bombs.
Yeah, he's
and
basically a magician.
He just disappears. He shows up. He's there. All of a sudden, Jacoby's there, and then he's gone.
So Sean's in all flannel and Wrangler jeans and a John Deere hat on a tractor, and Jacoby is dressed like a magician with a face covering. With a Guy Fawkes mask.
Oh, okay. So he could at any moment kill somebody.
I don't have anything else to say.
This was one of the worst segments we ever did.
Yeah, this was stupid. I don't know whose idea it was.
Yeah. We'll get a lot of feedback on this, and we'll have to apologize to a lot of people.
We've never gotten feedback on anything.
That's not true.
It's not?
No, whenever that guy Bill Brasky called, or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
whatever his
No, it
name
was,
Bill
I think it
Robertson.
was just Bill. Bill
something.
Peterson.
Bill Peterson called. We got a lot of
He
feedback.
did call
on
one. That was the
one.
very first time.
And then I think Cody Rodriguez had a lot of feedback. He didn't realize we had so many segments on the show, and
It's true.
he missed us talking about him or something like that. I don't know.
It's true. Well, anything else?
Nope. We're just going downhill. What's going on?
Breasts? What about them? Oh, it's October. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please be aware of breast cancer.
I'm aware.
Okay. All right. Well,
Now that's gonna solve the problem.
wrap it up. All right, we're going to wrap it up
Wrap it up.
before you stick it in. Have a good day.
Good luck. I'll just say it, and I'll say it. Nightmare.
Dressed in all black.
Dressed in all black with various organs falling out of their uniforms, and their ability is
Telepathically conundruming the other.
they can telepathically conundrum the other team because they're a nightmare.
I'm just going to make this the bonus segment. Go ahead. Next up.
Next team was the Expendables.
I do like how y'all dress them in their costumes.
They are dressed well with their army attire or military gear or whatever.
And anytime you knock any one of them down, another one just takes their
And anytime one gets knocked down, kind of like I said, another one takes their place.
Yeah, but that makes more sense the way she said it. Okay.
Next, the herd.
Everybody's got a buffalo headdress with a receding hairline.
Everyone has a buffalo headdress with a receding hairline. And
Superpower mean they all move in perfect conformity like a choreographed dance.
And the superpower is they all move in like a herd, like harmony, like a choreographed dance team. The storm.
Their fast players are like little lightning bolt dresses, and they're slow but like rocky players.
The fast players wear lightning bolt dresses, and the
their
big
slow players are like what?
Like big billowy clouds. But
They're big.
You know,
They're big billowy clouds,
So
dark
the slower
clouds.
ones are big, billowy, dark clouds. What's their superpower?
the slow ones can like steamroll everybody, but
The
super
s-
kind of like
the
slowly.
slow-
The fast ones, every time they catch the ball, it makes little sparks.
The slow ones steamroll you, and the fast ones create sparks
When they catch the ball.
when they catch the ball.
Like static electricity, I guess.
Yes. Next is the
Hitmen.
hitmen,
I like them dressed in all black
dressed in all black,
of various professions, so maybe a ninja or maybe a
various professions such as ninja or a funeral director,
whatever.
and their superpower is
They've got their quarterback has laser focused scope technology
their quarterback is basically a sniper.
that just delivers.
Laser
He can-
focused scope technology.
He can deliver the pass exactly where he needs to because he's a sniper. Next, the squad, the group.
They're all dressed as bridesmaids because
They're-
bridesmaids go out with their squad.
They're all dressed as bridesmaids because bridesmaids go out with their their squad,
And
Okay.
they have extreme positivity.
and they have extreme positivity.
Okay, the showstoppers.
I did that one already.
I know. No,
But you have to do it again. I didn't have this thing going.
Showstopper.
They're just like Kanye West,
Yes.
and have the ability to have unlimited timeouts.
Okay.
All right. 409 boys.
I guess they remind me of the Beastie Boys a little bit.
They are like the Beastie Boys a little bit.
Spelled it the same. And
So they're dressed like the Beastie Boys?
I guess, but they have a lot of local folk.
They-
A lot of local people show up to the game and support them. They have the best cheer section.
The best cheer section is
Best
the
snacks.
The best. The best.
they have the best snacks.
They have the best local cheer section because of the 409 location.
Fantastic motivation.
They're the most
They're
motivated.
the home team every
They're the home team every
Okay,
time. That's
there
their
we go, good.
superpower. Okay.
Good home field advantage every game. The Jack Boys.
They all have coveralls because they work with car jacks a lot.
They all have coveralls because they work with car jacks a lot.
And all of their names are Jack, like variations of Jack, Jackson,
Are they all under 17
Jacqueline?
because they're boys?
Yes.
and they're all
Okay.
okay. And what's their superpower?
They are good at mechanical manipulation. So
Mechanical manipulation is their superpower.
yeah.
Which is useless on the field of play.
No, if somebody has like a replacement hip, or
They should not be playing flag football.
If someone has a replacement, she says, if someone has a replacement hip,
also they always make it to the games on time.
they
They
always
do
make it
not-
to the
That is not
games on time. Their other superpowers,
You
they
must-
make it to the
you
games
must not
on
know
time.
this team.
Because they're mechanical geniuses.
So they are
Oh.
mechanical geniuses who always make it to the games on time and can thwart anyone with a mechanical hip.
I thought we were being realistic about all these.
I don't know any of the teams. I'm just going based off of their team names.
That's
Okay.
There you go.
Anything else?
Well, is there another team?
No, that's it.
SETX FFL. How do we dress up for that?
I don't know.
I don't either. That was a poor question. Bonus segment.
Okay. That's all. Have a good day.
Chuck Morris on the phone. His name was
Chuck Morris?
Yeah, Chuck Morris.